following show contains adult content. It's not our intent to offend anyone, but we want to inform you that if you are a child under the age of 18 or get offended easily, this next show may not be for you. The content, opinions, and subject matter of these shows are solely the choice of your show hosts and their guests, and not those of the Entertainment Network or any affiliated stations. Any comments or inquiries should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for listening.
Sitting down and designing, where every man in the thinking, what are we gonna be wearing? Yo, I'm a Liverpool MC, you can't test me. Big up the girls inside the party, let's get down to crazy Jimmy. Big up myself and known as Alfie, the one and only, the Turkish MC.
Always love the clothes of Jimmy.
Bitch, I'm your wanna be, Jimmy Star, new celebrity.
We'll take you out to Jimmy Star's.
Hey ho, what's up everybody? Welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell.
And Astro.
Bringing you the good times in music, fashion, pop culture, and entertainment. And Astro, look how gorgeous you guys. He has been like an angel with me in my recovery. Before we get started, I want to just give a quick shout out thanking everyone for all the social media messages.
Loves to kiss.
Hang on. Thanking everyone for all the get well wishes. I got hundreds of texts and messages and stuff, so thank you so much. Astro has also been terrific, and so was Ron. And so it's going, it's going good. It's going good, even though it's painful. But Astro's like a little nurse.
Mm-hmm. and a few people, wish Jimmy a happy hysterectomy.
Yes, that's funny. Ha ha ha.
Ha ha ha! Smack you.
Hey, so we want to say hi to chat room starting to fill up. Stefan Bell, hello. Hub Reynolds Jr., country superstars in the chat room. B. Claudia from Germany, hello. Cindy Lady Lake is in the chat room. Thanks, you guys, for tuning up. We're going to have a fun show today. We have two great guests. One of them is actress, model, and TV host. I think you pronounced it Enya Flack, but we're going to find out when she comes on in a few minutes. And then we have actress, producer, and director Susan Lanier Bramlett coming on. Should be fun. Neither one of them have ever been on the show, and they don't know anything about us, so I think it'll be a lot of fun. And we want to make sure we say hello to our fabulously gorgeous, cool, outrageous man about town co-host, Mr. Ron Russell, who's looking good in yellow.
So full of shit.
And Ron's been paying attention to my knee because he's having the same thing done soon. So he's going to go through the same thing that I'm going through.
April 7th, they're going to do this, like Jimmy was upset about the scar on his leg. I said, just wear black fishnet stockings. Yeah. The scar will never show. And he threw a paper cup.
Anyway, it's my third time. So the third time hopefully is going to be a charm. And they say it's, the more times you do it, the more difficult it is for them to do it.
But this is the easiest. And it's the swelling went down and he's walking on it. So I suspect that we have successfully done it.
I think so. I hope so. I still use a walker, but I can put my weight on it though, which is good.
And I think he's going to walk well. And I'm sure he'll be in 5-inch high heels again.
Never. They love our yellow. They love our yellow.
What do you mean never? The sissy fairy.
They like our yellow. Oh, because I've got yellow on too. Okay. You guys, Ron's car is yellow. That's why he loves yellow.
I love yellow. Yellow is life because yellow is the sun. My father was not a religious man by any means, but my father used to say to me, God is the sun, because without the sun, we couldn't live. He's a little nuts. But anyway, I adore the sun. I love living in sunshine. I could never go back to gloomy days, those winter days where everything is bleak and gray. So depressing. So not me. Anyway.
You gotta love it. So what's going on else? What happened? So you guys, I was only in the hospital one night. Thursday night, I came home late on Friday. It was miserable when I got home, but got better every day. It's gotten a little teeny bit better. Today, a little under the weather. So we didn't do anything though. I slept all weekend.
We're going to Florida soon. And I tell you, booking a ticket has gotten so bad from just a little while ago where it was normal to how to book a ticket. Now they ask you so many questions. It's ridiculous. And of course, they charge you for everything now. To pick your seat, well, that's been quite a while. Why please, airlines, pick a seat. The goddamn seats are there. What do we have to pick them for? Years ago, we used to reserve our seat. Now we have to pay to pick our seat. What nerve? What gall? Everything. You don't get food. When I used to fly back in the 60s, 1960, we all dressed up. The stewardesses were beautiful. They were dressed up. And they'd serve you a tray with a hot meal. You had a choice of
With
chicken
silverware.
or steak. What?
With silverware.
With silverware, right?
Glass.
And glasses and coffee cups. And the service was beautiful. The seats were big and juicy and comfortable. And you had leg room. It was, what has happened to us as a people? We have really become trash because we look like trash with all the clothes that we wear with ripped jeans all torn. You know what has happened? Poor people, or people who cannot afford to buy clothes, we'll say, were very upset and envious of those that dressed well. So the designers decided to make everybody look poor. This way, there's no envy or feeling of, wow, I don't have it. We are pleasing the poor, and we are not pleasing everyone, and that's just not fair. We should be pleasing all people in this country.
Absolutely.
Fashion has gone out the window.
And you pay a lot of money for that.
Tell me about it.
Like the ripped jeans are like $300, and the regular
yeah.
normal ones are like $50.
We went to a red carpet. I won't say who, but one of the actors had on jeans that were shredded and torn, right where his crotch was. You think his thing was going to fall out. I mean, just dirty looking, ripped bottoms. And I said, where the hell did you get those jeans? Off of a homeless person? He said, Ron, they were $350. I said, for what? He said, well, for the art. Art? I said, yeah, all those rips and holes, and that's called art. So I thought to myself, I'm a wonderful artist because I could do that in a second. So it's just nonsense. Hopefully now with, what's her name? The president's wife.
Melania.
Now with Melania dressing so beautifully, let's hope she influences fashion the way Jackie Kennedy did. And we can go back to dressing nice. I think it's okay to have ripped jeans for fun, but not to go to a major event.
Absolutely.
Don't go to the Academy Awards with a tuxedo jacket and ripped jeans. It's just saying something that's stupid.
So we want to give a shout out to and say hi to the chat room. Stephen Martinez just jumped in there and said, he had a minute. He wanted to jump on and say hi and happy that I'm doing well. Stephen Martinez, you guys, was one of the celebrities I dressed back in the day, and he's a big star on General Hospital and Burn Notice and Vampire Diaries. So we want to just give him a shout out. He's also the pickleball champion in the world.
Really?
Yeah.
You're kidding.
No, so he's really cool. I sent a thing saying I'd love to get him on the show.
I don't understand.
Pickleball is like tennis. Pickleball.
Pickleball. All it is ping pong.
It's like on a tennis court, though.
Yeah, ping pong.
Mini tennis court.
Ping pong on a tennis court. That might be good for us old bags because I can't play tennis. There's no way. I mean, I would be out of breath with 7 steps to the left. But pickleball, you could stand there and just bang it like badminton.
Oh, no, absolutely. He's a really cool guy, and
I didn't know that there was a contest.
He says, far from that, but plays professionally, tennis on crack, but y'all would love it. So Stephen, I don't even know if you know, because I played for University of Florida. I was like a big tennis player, so I think I'll learn how to play it. I'm hoping that my knee surgery that I just had done will help me able to do that. But congratulations on being a professional pickleball player as well as a very accomplished actor. And I'm glad everything's going. I'm a singer, you guys. He's a great country singer, too. So anyway, thanks for joining us.
I could do a joke, but I'm wondering if I should.
If it's too dirty, no.
Well, it's not clean.
Okay.
Jimmy, you could play with my pickle and ball.
There you go. That one's okay. You guys, he was Nicholas Cassadine on General Hospital, and
Astro,
he did a cheesy movie. He did a cheesy movie called Ring of Darkness, but I absolutely loved it, about a boy band being possessed. It was really cool and fun. And I'll reach out, Stephen, at social media. Thanks for coming on and saying hello, and hope everything is going good. And Juan, you guys, our engineer wrote a thing that there's a designer brand that sells pre-pee stained jeans called Jordan Luca, and they go for $600.
I'm going to vomit. Pee-stained jeans?
That's disgusting.
Well, they go to nursing home to get the jeans?
Huh?
They went to a nursing home to get the jeans.
I don't know where they went. No, we don't pee. We're old and we don't pre-stain our jeans.
I can't believe $600 for pee-stained jeans. You know what? God bless America and all the morons in it.
I think that's hilarious, though. It is funny.
It's not funny. It's sad to think that somebody can do so. Well, you know, I hate to bring up the subject, but somebody said they pay $300 for a jar of farts. So if you fart in a jar, you can sell it, because there are sickos out there that masturbate, and while they masturbate, they open the jar and smell the fart because that turns them on. So there's all kinds of crazy people in this country, in the world. We know that. You just have to sort of like not talk about them, make believe they're not here, and just, you know, forget it, move on. Because we have become a disgusting people. Years ago, television, they wouldn't even show a toilet bowl. Today, they show you people on the toilet bowl. Then they show you the little bears wiping themselves, and actually a big thing like
blue stain,
a stain like what is the word I'm looking for? Shit. Anyway,
a streak, a shit streak.
Then you have women spraying their
privates
because their boxes smell. Then you have men spraying their testicles because their testicles
so you don't have to take a bath.
Smells.
Avoid taking a bath.
Why on earth would a man spray his testicles? I don't know, when there's soap and water. But anyway, there are other period commercials, where to shove a tampon. I mean, there is so much shit on television. These commercials revolt me, especially if Jimmy and I eat while we watch, you know, Jesse.
Yes. We watch TV while we eat dinner, and the commercials just amaze us.
I mean, you can vomit when you're eating something and they're showing you how to wipe your butt. But anyway, this is what the world has become. There's no longer elegance, propriety, sophistication, shame, or privacy. Even privacy is gone. We have become a people that just don't care anymore. We don't make things pretty. And having diarrhea in a commercial, to me, is not pretty.
There you go. They could just tell
I've
what
said
the medication
it. I've
is.
said it all.
There you go. All right, you guys. So we want to thank everybody for tuning in every week. You can hear the Jimmy Star Show.
Oh, wait. The other one is the new Viagra. It gets you up faster than anything. I mean, we need to know how fast you get an erection when you take a pill. Is that necessary?
I guess for the people who want to use it, quit that, you guys. All right, you guys, we want to thank everybody for tuning in every week. You can hear the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell on Red Circle, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, YouTube, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, TuneIn, Amazon Prime, and 360 TVN. We're going to bring on our first guest now. She's here. So let's bring her in and see if we can hear her, and then we'll introduce her.
Hey
Hello.
there.
Look at this beauty.
Say something. Let's make sure we can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you. All
Where
right.
did you get those teeth? Oh my God, that's the most
Mom and Dad.
what a smile. What beautiful teeth. I have no teeth. I look like a snake when I smile. Look. There's no teeth. I would kill for your teeth.
He'll be 85 in 2 months.
Wow.
He likes to do
Hey,
that.
you look great.
It's sort of his way of me down. And
No, it's not. How great he looks for 85, and he's still working.
I still don't have.
Amazing.
Yeah, neither one of us have your smile.
I want that.
So let me
smile.
ask you a question. Do we pronounce your name Enya Flack, like Enya, like the singer? I love your name.
It.
It's so beautiful. It really is. So everybody, now we want to welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, actress, model, TV host, and all-around superstar, Enya Flack. Hello and welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Good to be here.
This is my cool, outrageous man about town co-host, Ron Russell. Say hi.
No,
Hi, Ron.
I just want to be. Give me those friggin' teeth.
He just
I
wants to
just
be
want to be
different.
difficult. I can't. Please, watch. Look what I have to do to look like you. Look,
You know,
ridiculous.
do what you got to do.
No smile. I bet that
you do. You
smile
have a
gets you
beautiful-
through everything.
you
I
have a
bet when you
beautiful-
pull that smile routine, people melt.
Ah, well, hey,
Come on.
whatever it takes, I guess.
You smile at a guy, your teeth don't work.
Of course they do. So hang on, we got a bunch of people showing up in
I
the
bet-
chat room.
I
So
bet
just say
there's
hi
some-
hi to everybody in the
I
chat
bet
room.
there's some guy that wants to kiss you, and lick your teeth while he's doing it.
Oh, I've never been told that, but hey, you know, I'm up for whatever.
Hey, you never take it. So say hi to everybody in the chat room. And then go ahead, say it. They love it when you say hi to them.
I'm really in the chat room.
We have the greatest chat room ever. We have people from all over the world in all different countries and stuff that are in the chat room, and they're just super fabulous. So I'm super excited to have you on. Number one, because we've never had you on our show before. Number two, you have such a fun resume of things that you've done.
And in case you didn't know it, you're beautiful. Just in
You know
case,
what?
in
I
case
will
no one's ever told you.
So
I'll take that. Some days you feel a little less beautiful than others, so I'll take that today. And today's been an interesting.
I
you know.
think you should take it every day.
Are you married?
I am married.
Good for you.
What did she say?
She said I am married.
Yes, I am.
How long are you married?
6 years now. 6 years.
Does he have money?
He's
No.
got enough money.
No, a beautiful girl should never marry a poor man. Never.
Oh, well, I'll tell him you said that.
In the chat room, they're saying you're so gorgeous. They want to know if you model. So here's what I
She
know
is
about her, you
beautiful.
guys.
Look at her. She's gorgeous.
She was an official judge and former title holder in the Miss America pageant system. She also served as the state director for Miss World America. And she is a model because she's modeled for The Price is Right and Deal or No Deal. And Ron used to know the original Price is Right models from back in the day.
I was best friends with Diane Parkinson and
Yeah.
Janice. They used to come to when I lived in Beverly Hills, they were in my house all the time, the girls. With Jacqueline
Wow.
Smith from
Charlie's Angels.
Charlie's Angels. That was the clique back then in the 80s. And we all hung out together. We used to go up to San Angelo's Pizzeria and hang out. Those were the days. But the girls from The Price is Right, just the most wonderful people. You know, Bob Barker was a pig. No, he hit on every one of them. And Diane, he was going to fire her if she didn't put out. And she said, fire me. I don't care. I know the inside truth. Bob Barker was notorious.
So,
Wow.
so Ron has a daughter too, what was Leslie?
What do you mean? What was she?
Well, she was like
my
Miss America.
My daughter was first runner-up in Miss America, teenage girl, whatever that was. And she was Miss New York, Miss Long Island, and Powers, #1, you got the look model. My daughter looks like Grace Kelly.
Nice. That's exciting. Yeah. I got to meet going back. I got to meet Bob Barker once. I can't say anything bad about it, but I only met him once.
Did he hit on you? He had to.
No. He was okay. He was okay with me.
I knew
With me.
him. Listen, I
With
knew,
me.
I knew him because I used to always go to the show. Just sit with to watch. And so I've been in Bob's company a lot of times. In fact, I asked him for a photograph for a friend of mine, and he signed it to Ron, thinking it was mine. All your good taste in women, or something like that. So Bob Barker was really a woman. He was a nice guy, but wow, what he did to those girls.
Different then, right?
No, he did terrible things to Diane. Terrible.
So let's move on to a happier note.
Happier note.
Happy note. Number one.
Wait a minute. Let me go here. In Hollywood.
Which
Now,
she will know this, I'm sure.
Yes. tell me how many men hit on you all the time. Men can't help it. They think they have to. No, they think because you're beautiful, they have to.
Well, I maybe that's it. I don't know. You know, you meet a lot of people. When you lived in LA as long as I did. Yeah, they're. I don't know how many to answer that question, but there have been a few. Let's just say there have
I
been a
believe
few.
it. Also,
Is your husband jealous? Is he a
I'm
jealous
sure he's
man?
very good looking.
No, not really. No, I'm old now. You know, I don't get old.
Oh my God, you don't look. I mean, I
What
know.
did she say?
I know just from like reading your resume how many years you've been in Hollywood that you are significantly older than you look because you look like you're like 22. So
Don't say significantly, but okay.
well, you have to be
You know the
30.
the old remark, black don't crack, and it's true.
Yeah.
We're very good friends. We're very good friends with Cece Pennington. You know who she is.
Yeah, I do.
We're best friends with her. She must be
Okay.
1,000, and she looks 22. No, Cece is the most beautiful black woman you ever. I hate that black. We must stop that.
Most beautiful woman.
Most beautiful woman. We must stop that description. It's so unnecessary. I hate it. You know, when they say, Ron Russell, the gay guy, woo! I'm more than the gay guy.
I was going to tell you because you get, we're married. And so when you have a gay guy is telling you how beautiful he is and you know that they're not hitting on you. Because there is
I know that. You know what? When I was in college, I used to love my girlfriends and I used to love going out to the gay gay clubs and bars and whatever, you know, because you don't get hit on, you get complimented, and you know it's a sincere compliment. It's
also we have the best taste. We have
absolutely.
Gay men have the best taste.
100%.
In what's beautiful. Beautiful homes, beautiful clothes, and beautiful women.
So
and
now
wait, and not we do not hate women as most people think. That we're bitchy, and if a woman's beautiful, we're mean to her. Not at all. We love to be around beautiful women.
And they actually love to be around us. Like he's like a harem. Like everywhere he goes, all the like beautiful women like just flock around.
Because I tell all of them, if I were 22 and straight, I'd be yours. And I'll tell you the same thing.
So now, do you live in LA now still?
No, I'm back in North Carolina now, which is where I'm originally from. And
Charlotte? Are you in Charlotte?
Yeah. Moved back a few years ago. My my mom's getting a little older. I still have my mom with me, and getting a little older. Just it just felt like time for a change. And so I now 50-50 work in Atlanta.
Yes,
it's not too far away. So
I'm dying to work in Atlanta.
So you in Atlanta,
I want to work at what's his name studio. I hear
she works there.
Oh, what is it like? I heard it's a city. It's got a supermarket. It's got houses. It's got a dock. I mean, it's a world. He built a world.
And not to mention there's a replica of the White House there. I mean, it's kind of unlike any other studio I've been on a lot of studio lots.
Have you ever met him?
I have, yeah.
Is he nice? I love him.
He is. He's very focused. He's very but he's nice.
Is he a nice person or is he stuck up?
You said he's a nice person.
No, I don't know. I gotta get
more. I've had nothing but
nice and stuck up, Jimmy.
We love him. We see everything he does.
I love when he's in drag as what's her name?
Medea.
I pee from him. Yeah. I go hysterical. Yeah. He plays all those parts. The grandfather. What a talent! What a talent! Yeah. So, what do you do over at that studio?
What do I do? I'm on a show called All the Queen's Men. I play
Men?
Yes.
Queen's Men. Yeah, it's in its the fourth season now. Yeah, fourth season.
How come I've been on about it?
Because you don't watch regular TV.
You got to get BET Plus.
Yes.
Okay. It's also on Netflix. I think one or maybe two of the seasons are also on Netflix now. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's right. But yeah, I think you might enjoy it. It's if you like gritty and it's set. It's about sort of a female. she's not quite a mob boss, but she's a kick-ass girl
like
boss.
I
She's
like
she there's a lot of crime, but she is an entrepreneur. She owns this amazing would it be men's strip club? All the strippers are men, and
Who's
so
that?
it's an all.
You play that?
No, she's the district attorney, I think.
I'm the district attorney. Yeah, so I'm trying to. She bends the rules a lot. So I'm trying to get her.
We'll
put in
have
jail.
to watch it.
By
So-
that title,
Watch it.
all the Queen's Men, I would have thought it was a movie about Palm Springs. All the Queen's, all the tricks that the Queen's get, all the Queen's Men.
How do you
Yeah.
like living in Charlotte? That you have like the Biltmore
Where
house
does
is
she
there,
live?
right?
Where-
Charlotte, North Carolina.
Oh, it's beautiful there.
Yeah. Biltmore's up in Asheville,
Oh,
but,
it's in
but
Asheville,
Charlotte is-
okay,
yeah,
okay.
Charlotte is really nice. It's it's kind of I think it's still the second largest banking city in the country or something like that. It's when I was growing up here, if you lived here, you were basically from here, and everybody had a Southern accent and all that. And now it's hard to find a Southern accent. People have moved in from everywhere, so it's become a lot more.
And a lot of New Yorkers moved there. Were you affected by the hurricane?
No, it wasn't bad here. Just a lot of rain. That's more up in the area where Biltmore is. So
Good.
they were really hit hard by it.
So now, is all the Queen's Men? Is that the only Tyler Perry? Is that the only Tyler Perry series you're in? Because he's got so many of them. Have you been in
That's
any?
the only one I'm in. That's full time. No, that's
okay.
the only one. Yeah, hey, I'm open for any.
Oh no, we have another friend, Robert Craighead, who's in a bunch of. He always plays like a sheriff, and he's been in a bunch of the different Tyler Perry shows that we know from here. And
I always say to people, I wish my work time was as much as my no work time. I'm always between movies for like 30 years. You know what it's like waiting for movies. I have 6 coming up. I have all the scripts. I'm definitely in them, but they can't get financed. So
I've got
no,
too.
I'm not working.
Actually, she just did a film I saw on her IMDb, and I always bring up things that have some kind of a 6 degree of separation with us. It's called On Fire, with Sean McNamara as the director. William H. Macy and John Corbett are in it. You know John Corbett. He's from My Big Fat Greek Wedding. William H. Macy. And we just recently, when the Reagan movie came out, we had Sean McNamara on our show. He's a great guy.
I love Sean. Great. Great.
And I've seen like almost all of his movies. I didn't know they were his movies until we had him on. But then once we had him on, I paid attention to it. He's done some phenomenal movies.
Okay, we got to get away from movies, dogs. We have to get into. I have very snoopy audience. My audience, they have to know everything. That's my dog. He doesn't.
There's somebody at the door.
I've got one of those too.
Is your husband handsome?
Of course he is.
Is he tall and sexy?
Yes, he's all that. He's 6'3". He's
How tall are you? How tall are you?
Wait a minute.
5'8".
She's 5'8". He's 6'3".
He's 6'3".
Listen. So what entrapment did you use to get him?
Now, why would you think I'd have to do that?
Because all women trap men. Men do not want to get married. No matter how gorgeous you are, they just want you for sex, not married. So how did you get him to put how did you get him to put the ring on?
No. See, that's LA talking right there. Okay. And you're right about that. In LA. Here in the Southeast, it's a little different. People actually seem to like getting married. Yeah.
That's so nice to hear because I'm from Florida. He's from New York, but we met in
Brooklyn,
Florida.
yay!
We're actually going to Florida in March, just to go back because we haven't been in about 10 years.
I have very good friends in North Carolina, and they bought a house on a corner, brand new, beautiful house. And when they told me what they paid for it, I almost dropped dead. I said, in LA, this house is 2.5. In North Carolina, it was like maybe 800,000, 750, something like that.
I was going to say,
and they live in a very exclusive part of North Carolina.
Yeah,
I love it.
So it's good. It's good living there.
It is, and it's really pretty here.
How much you pay to renew your license, your Car registration. Car registration.
I think I like $149, something like that.
$49. You know what, Jimmy?
149.
Oh,
149.
You know
Yeah,
what, Jimmy? You know
We
what?
live in Palm Springs. My car registration was 800 and his is 300 and his car's 20 years old.
My
Do
God.
they have balls here or what?
Wow. Okay.
We're going to move to Florida because it's just ridiculous here. It's gotten
Palm
that
Springs is
bad.
so beautiful, though. I mean, Palm
it's
Springs. That's one of my favorite places in the world.
I lived in Florida for about 15 years. I lived in
Did you?
Boca.
I lived there for 48.
Yeah, he was born in Florida.
I was born
What
there.
part of Florida?
So I was born in Miami and I grew up in West Palm Beach and I went to high school in Jacksonville, college in Gainesville, and then I moved back and I lived in Boca and Fort Lauderdale.
And then he did 12 years in the state penitentiary.
Okay.
Not true, not true, not
So
true.
we also
Wait,
have
I'm not done drilling her. Drilling. So wait a second. The husband. What did he do on Valentine's Day?
Oh, it was kind of a busy Valentine's Day. So we just went out to dinner, had this at a really amazing Japanese restaurant that I'd been wanting to go to that I didn't think, I had told him about it and it was kind of difficult to get into. And so when he told me that was where we were going, I'm like, and it dawned on me, oh, wait a minute, you actually planned this because you can't just make a snap decision like so. He says, I do listen every now and then. So I'm like,
Did he have a little goodie for you from Tiffany?
No goodie from Tiffany this time.
We got to train him. We have to train him.
I really do.
We have to, honey, I love the Japanese food, but if I had a little necklace with a little diamond, the food would taste better.
I got to get better at that. I don't know what's happening.
I really like you a lot. You're very nice. Sometimes we have bitches on this show and I have to be nice to them and I don't like them. No, really. I had one nutty broad who was gorgeous, right? Beyond beautiful. I mean, she was breathtaking. And I said that to her a couple of times, and she was going to walk off the show because she did not want to be told she's beautiful because it'll make ugly women feel bad. She was awoke. So I said, well, what am I going to do? I told you you're beautiful and you're upset about that, you jerk. Wait till you're old and you're a mess. You're going to give a shit about what you're going to want to
appreciate it, right?
So we have a 6 degree of separation.
What's that?
Because you did a movie called Little Richard, and a pretty long time ago. And Leon, who is Little Richard, has been a friend of ours for like 15 or 20 years. He comes on the show.
Yeah.
And
you know what? Let me give Leon a compliment. It's funny that I still remember it to this day because, as you said, that's been a little while ago. But I have never seen a man with more beautiful skin than Leon. I mean, just like flaw. He was
beautiful
makeup next to me, and I was like, "Dang, yeah." He really had just. Isn't that weird that's what I can.
No, but he's a great actor. He's very good looking,
and I love his
sings.
Song.
Yeah, he's a real singer. He has a band. I used to work for a record label, and we put his record out called "Leon and the Peoples" is the name of the band.
Right.
"Love Is a Beautiful Thing" was one of the songs.
I love that song.
It
Love
hit
is
the
a
chops
beautiful
of Billboard.
But let me tell you something. He's a stunning man. He's 7 foot tall, tall as hell, and still thin. But his personality, when you first meet him, you don't like him because he's not very friendly. He's not very talkative. But once you break through that, whatever's wrong with him, you find the most incredible person. I'm nuts about Leon. I think he's fabulous.
If we don't have him on during the year all the time, he
I
always
might
comes
be in
on
a
our
movie
Christmas
with
show.
him.
Yeah, we're working on putting
I might
together
be in a movie with him. And that's good because we could bond better when we're on the set.
I'm actually thinking she could be good for that one too. Now that I see you, I'm a producer. I'm not an actor. I'm a producer, but I have like several films that just got funded or promised to be funded. They're not funded yet. And you would be perfect, for one of them because you're gorgeous and we need lots of talented, pretty people. There's a lot of pretty people, but we need ones that actually can act.
Well,
and I watched one episode. Of All the Queen's Men just to see it.
Yeah.
Because I didn't remember who you played in Little Richard. I just went down your IMDb and I saw that you were in it.
She was in Little Richard.
Yes, with Leon.
Who were you in Little? I love
Somebody
that
else's
movie.
girlfriend.
You know what? I was somebody's girlfriend, someone's girlfriend. Yeah, that was early on, and so I'm sure it was somebody's girlfriend. It was in. I know there was a fight scene, and it's been a minute. I'm sorry, I don't remember. But I think I probably had maybe 3 lines in that. It wasn't a big part.
You're still
I
in
also
the film.
remember you from because I used to watch Malcolm and Eddie. So
Did you?
I remember you from Malcolm and Eddie, and I have actually the movies that we're working on. The director Jennifer James, she actually did a movie with Eddie Griffin called A Typical Love like 10 years ago, so that's another like little degree of separation that we have. So let's talk about so I think I read, and I don't know, I think it was you, like you turned down a scholarship or something to go to school someplace to do something else. Like, how did you decide? Obviously you were smart, or you wouldn't have gotten a scholarship to wherever it was anyway. But how did you decide I'm going to become like a model and then become like a TV star and a movie star? How did that evolve in your head?
How did I decide that? Well, I mean, yeah, I got an engineering scholarship, full engineering scholarship. I was, always really good at science and math in school and whatever, and I was kind of on that track. But I always had these little sideline things that I was doing extracurriculars. So I did local fashion shows, and I had taken piano lessons and harp lessons and ballet lessons, and I had been doing that since I was There's one. See that?
Yeah,
There's
I
one behind
back there.
I love
So that is so beautiful. A lot
harp.
of people that come on, they put like a fake picture back there, but that's
I
actually
almost did.
so that's the real picture with the piano and the
That's
harp
the
and
real
everything. How beautiful.
Okay,
I
question.
thought
Why
that was 11.
Question.
What question did you ask her?
How did she get to become an actress? Just talk.
Oh, that's a very long question.
No, it's not. Who cares? It's my turn to
Okay.
talk. Go ahead, tell it. No, finish. I want to hear. So does
How did I? I'll try and make it as short as possible. I went to school to go into journalism, and I did, radio, TV, film, on the production side, and studied journalism. I was just a regular news reporter, local TV station for about a year and a half or so, not even that. And then my fiance at the time and I broke up. He broke my heart. I moved out to San Francisco. Broke my heart. He was seeing somebody else.
I bet you he regrets it now, the jerk.
No, I don't know.
Something better. So.
But I just decided to move out to San Francisco on a whim. I had been there one time, and I just really like San Francisco. And I ended up getting a job at a modeling school. A guy came up from LA to scout for new talent. He was a manager, and he came to my office, saw me in my office, and asked me if I had ever done any acting. And I told him no. I had taken one class in college, like one semester or whatever. And he had me read some sides with him. Asked me, he said, I really feel like I could represent you. Got a great look. And I thought, give me a break. Even I know that's not a thing. Got a great look. And, but he asked me if I moved to LA at the time. And I said, I don't think so. I just moved to San Francisco. He encouraged me to come down for an audition. About 2 weeks later, I read for a show called Out All Night, starring Patti LaBelle, Morris Chestnut, and Fox. Got the call back that afternoon, booked the first thing I ever read for in my life.
Oh my gosh, Morris Chestnut is so cool. I met him several times.
3 months later, they convinced me to move down for pilot season, and that was the beginning of my acting career.
Did you get to work with Patti LaBelle?
I did. Yeah, it was
I
fantastic.
have never met her. I love her. She's one of my favorite singers.
Fabulous.
And I listen to my story. I'm very good friends with Sister Sledge, with Kathy. She's very dear friend of mine. When I lived in Pennsylvania. So I invited her and her husband to my house for Italian dinner. And she said, oh, Ron, I'm supposed to see Patti LaBelle that night. Is it okay? Listen to this. Is it okay if I bring Patti LaBelle? I said, what the fuck? Are you crazy? Oh, my God. Jimmy, Patti LaBelle's coming. Oh, I can't breathe. I'm going to burn my food. I got so excited. Well, anyway, as it turned out, Patti never came. But I had a chance of meeting Patti LaBelle. The Sledge sisters are the best people in the world. Have you
Kathy?
ever met them?
Kathy Sledge.
I've never met them. I love their music.
They have a mother who is a saint. She raised these girls to be the most honest, decent, Virgil thinking, beautiful people. I can't say enough about them. And they're beautiful girls.
So us being gay, We Are Family is kind of like a gay anthem and a very important song in the gay community, especially for older gay people. Maybe not so much for young gay people.
Very important.
So we were at a screening of a TV series in Philadelphia, and we went there. And mind you, so Ron doesn't get excited when he meets famous people because he was best friends with Jane Russell. He knew Elizabeth Taylor. He knew Betty Davis. He knows everybody. So he never. But all of a sudden, I hear him screaming, "Jimmy, Jimmy, get over here!" And he's 50 yards away. And it was to meet Kathy Sledge, and he was so excited. As a matter of fact, when our show went from radio to video, she was our very first guest. On radio and video.
I really love her, and I see her often when I'm back east. I cannot tell you. She's an example for people. Just the sweetest, most wonderful human being I've met. And can she sing? You bet.
Okay, so I want to brag for you a little bit. Now we're going to brag a little bit for you. That's why, just for the audience. So
I want to ask her one question because people want to know. Do you cook?
Absolutely. I love cooking. My dream is to travel around the world and take cooking classes wherever, literally every place I go. And I've started that. So
what kind of food do you make the best?
Really Italian. Pretty much anything.
I'm Italian, so of course.
Everybody, I'm good. So.
Do you make chicken parmesan? My favorite thing is chicken parmesan.
I make veal parmesan.
Okay, I like that too.
Veal parmesan.
I like that too. So I love it.
I love all kinds of food. So yeah.
I got to tell you something. Your husband is so lucky. Tell him I said so, and tell him Tiffany's is on 5th and 57th in Manhattan.
He will be the first person that sees this.
You love it.
You have children?
No. I have. I was married before, and I have 4 stepsons.
Oh, that's good. I have 2 stepdaughters.
And I have an almost 18-year-old Yorkie. She's my baby.
Oh my God! She's my baby. Where's our
Come here, honey.
The little barker.
We have 2 dogs now. They're both rescues. We had 3, but this is the love of our life. This is Astro.
Oh my gosh!
Say hi to Enya.
He is the love.
He goes everywhere. We take him grocery shopping. We take him everywhere we go. He's about 7. Astro.
Don't tell how old he is. Get nervous.
But he's the greatest dog ever.
I don't like to know my dog's ages because unfortunately they don't stay with us that long.
We like the dog more than we like people.
My baby, as I call her,
yeah, you would rather do stuff with the dog than do it with the neighbor.
Why would I sleep with a neighbor?
I didn't say sleep. I said you like the dog more than people.
I don't know why you say that.
Because the dog is very important to us.
A dog is a dog. People are people. I don't put them in the same category.
Yes,
do you argue with your husband a lot?
Wait, can you see her? There she is.
Oh, is he here?
No, that's her. No, the dog. No, that's the dog.
Oh, the
not
dog.
The husband.
Step away for a second.
Sleeping down
the dog.
Yeah, she's I
love
right there. I love it.
Yeah, she's in the corner there.
We take the dog all over. We love the dog.
I've had her since she was 3 months old. She weighed 1 pound. Now she's up to 5.5. So.
Oh wow, he's 7 pounds. He's 7 pounds, and he's a rescue. And they think he was 2 when we got him, and we've had him 5 years. So, I love it. All right, so now I'm gonna brag. So you guys, here's some of the stuff that you would have seen Enya on television, and this is just some of them. I really picked out a lot of them because we've had people from all these different shows. But on television, you've seen her on Outer Banks, Walker, Seesaw, The Game, Days of Our Lives, Dynasty, The Resident, The X's, Bluff City Law, which was a great show, by the way. I wish they would have kept going. Queen Sugar, Rules of Engagement, CSI Miami, Strong Medicine, The Sopranos, Son of the Beach, The Parkers, Ally McBeal, which is another great show. Ally McBeal. These are all great, but these are certain ones are like fantastic. NYPD Blue, Born Free, The Wayans Brothers, The Steve Harvey Show, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And then she has another movie that came out. I don't know if it's out yet or it came out recently called Operation Taco Gary's with Brenda Song, Simon Rex, Dustin Milligan, Doug Jones, and Jason Biggs. And we've had Doug Jones on the show. We're doing a movie with him soon. And
He's a sweet guy. I like Doug.
So what are your favorite kind of movies?
I got to say something. You work.
Oh, yeah, she works.
I've been blessed. You know,
a lot of work. A good resume. A lot of work.
Thank you.
No,
so anytime what
did you do on Dynasty?
She was just a guest.
Yeah, just a guest star. I played a doctor, an obstetrician. I delivered the wonderful news.
We didn't play it on your Dynasty that you're thinking. Yeah. We've had all the cast except for Joan Collins.
Not the original Dynasty.
I was on the old Dynasty.
Were you? I remember that show. That was a great show.
With Jacqueline Smith was in my segment. Down in L.A. at the end of Hollywood Boulevard was a porno theater.
No, you're not thinking. She's saying Dynasty. You're talking Charlie's Angels.
Oh, sorry.
Was it Donna Mills? And was it Donna Mills? Was
she in Knots Landing? But we had Donna Mills on the show too.
Yeah. And I knew
Donna Mills is the same age as Ron, and she's like him. She looks gorgeous.
I knew her from San Angelo's Pizzeria, up on the hill. When you're in LA most of your life, or all of your life, you meet everybody. And I came to LA when I was 9, and then back to New York, and then at 19 I came back to LA, and that's when I started to hang out with everybody. And Jane Russell, who you know she is. Yeah, we stayed in each other's houses. We were best friends, like brother and sister. And she introduced me she knew everybody. So I met everybody through Jane. Yeah. Those were the days, my dear, when I would go to a party and Rita Hayworth would be at the party. Betty Davis would be at the party. Wow. Joan Crawford. I never met Joan Crawford, but so many stars would be at the restaurant. Joan Collins was eating next to me. I mean, it was a wonderful time. Now, I could have 10 movie stars next to me. I wouldn't know who they are. I don't know them. We don't have stars anymore.
Somebody asked me the other day, what was it like being a part of so many iconic TV shows? Then they're talking about like Fresh Prince. But I said, but the thing is, you don't. At least I didn't know they were iconic at the time. They were just, shows, but then looking back at it, you're like, wow, I guess that was kind of cool to get to do that, So imagine the same is true for you, maybe for you too.
You also have, so I've never seen it, but I like.
The only one I never met was Cary Grant. And I'm glad I didn't, because they would have arrested me for rape.
Because he's gorgeous.
Cary Grant, the most gorgeous man in the world.
Not too shabby, yeah.
Oh, is he gorgeous and sexy? Woo, Cary Grant.
But you know who I liked from that era? I liked. I really liked Clark Gable.
Who?
Clark Gable.
Clark Gable.
Gable never did it.
I like Clark Gable too. I like Cary Grant better, but I like Gary Cooper the best out of all of them. So
no, I never met Clark Gable. He died before my day of running around with the big shots.
Gotcha. I saw him in a film.
I never met Marilyn Monroe either. Came close, but I never met her. So but I did do a movie with Sophia Loren when I was 19, and Tab Hunter. So those are my first stars when I was a kid. I have, that's another question. Your favorite movie stars? Are you a fan of a movie star?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I have favorite. I mean, do we like quote modern day or older or what? I mean,
whenever.
I live
Whenever.
I mean, I'm a huge Meryl Streep fan. I'm a huge Angela Bassett fan. If we're talking about now, going back, I actually did love Cary Grant. Like I said, Vivian Leigh. I love Vivian Leigh. I was a big Elizabeth Taylor fan. I saw her in, what's the name of the place? Is it Madras? It was right on Santa Monica Boulevard. Starts with an M. Anyway, I saw her, Elizabeth Taylor, shortly before she passed away. She, came in with a group of people, and she's at the table over there in the corner, and I was like, oh my God. That's, I had just sort of gotten to LA, and that was pretty cool just to be in the same room.
I saw her before she passed. She didn't even look like herself. She was over here at our library in Palm Springs. They did a thing. And when she came on the stage, they killed the house lights. They wheeled her out in the wheelchair. They stood her up. They took the wheelchair off, and they brought the house lights up. And then when she left, they did the same thing. It was the most heartbreaking thing I've ever seen, because I met Elizabeth Taylor about 25 years ago at AmFA in New York City. And she was the most vibrant, beautiful woman. And then to see her that way was sad. I worked for her. I worked for the Elizabeth Taylor Foundation for AIDS Research. I did drag shows. I impersonated Jane Russell. And I had a troupe of drag queens that sang in their own voice. And we toured all over and raised $150,000 for Elizabeth Taylor Foundation.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Of which folks you could still give money to if you care to.
There you go.
Anyway, Elizabeth Taylor, I found to be not the brightest bulb on Broadway, but and a mouth on her like a sailor. I mean, could she swear? Woo! But she was good. She was good. She was very direct and very honest.
So here's what I want to, because I'll tie it into all. This is something I ask all the actresses and actors that come on. So it's going to be a 3-part question. So, okay, so you've already worked with so many great people. So if you had an opportunity to work with any actor, living or dead, a male and a female, who would you have liked to have worked with, or who would you like to work with? And then if you could have ever been in any movie that's ever been made in history, what movie would you have liked to been in?
Oh, geez.
You should break down two questions.
It's like,
that's let me.
What is this between?
Well, I mean, as I mentioned, I'm a huge Meryl Streep fan, so I guess I'll go with Meryl Streep, because I figure if I'm in a movie with her, then I must be doing something right, because that's she's amazing. Male actor, let me think. I don't know if I have. I've met him, but I've never worked with George Clooney. I really just like him. I met him. I actually met him way back when. I met him when he was working on ER.
Oh, wow.
And I was a secretary at Warner Brothers. That was my my first quote real job, so to speak, in LA. And my office door window looked out right at the door to his trailer. And so I saw him coming in and out all the time. And I once got a chance to I remember sitting on the step of his trailer, just chatting with him, because, we would see each other, and I had asked him for his autograph for a friend of mine. And so, by the end of the year, it was just like, hey, how's it going? But he said to me, he says, it's just really nice to finally get the chance to work on something that I'm actually proud of. And I just found him just very real and, just a nice guy, kind of self-deprecating at times and whatever. And so, I think I'd really like to do something with him. I think it would just be fun,
Oh, his father is very nice. I met his father once. His father is very gentle and very soft-spoken.
Actually, one thing I noticed too about your resume is, a lot of people. So I'm a big horror movie fan. So this isn't like a diss to horror movies, because that's my favorite genre. But you're one of the only people really that we've had on. Like, everybody has a shitty horror movie in their resume, and I'm like, she doesn't have a shitty horror movie. She's not getting killed in any horror movies or anything. So
I don't have one shitty movie.
Yeah,
I have 40 shitty movies.
So you avoided that. You got noticed for your ability without ever having to get killed in a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie or something.
That's true. But you know what I did do? I did get to work with Roger Corman. Now, and he was kind of king of B
King of
movies
the
for a
low
minute.
budget, yes.
Yeah, exactly. So
Actually,
I
it's an honor to work for Roger Corman though, because he's kind of like at a cult status, So that's like a good one. And I noticed you have another thing called Black Scorpion on the Sci-Fi Channel, which I didn't see that. I don't know what it is, but you did several of them. That's
his show. That was his show.
That's his show. Okay, there you go. I have to watch it just to see it, just because it sounded like it was a lot of fun. So what was a movie then that you would have liked to have been in? That'll give us an idea what some of your favorite movies are too.
There's so many great movies, but I'm gonna be just be kind of what's the word? I don't know, a little bit surface here. I'm in love with Italy, as I think I don't know if I said that, but so I would just be under the Tuscan sun, just to shoot all this stuff in Italy, just to be in Italy and work. I love
very good.
We watch it once a year.
Yeah. Oh, you do. Okay.
I want to bring up a point.
Yes.
Years ago, and I don't care much for Diana Ross, by the way. She's not nice. But anyway, Diana Ross did Lady Sings the Blues.
Mm-hmm.
An Academy Award should have been given to her. What a performance. What an actress. Could you believe that little skinny bitch can act better than anybody, better than Meryl Streep? I mean, did you ever see Lady Sings the Blues?
I did, and you're right. She was amazing. That scene where she's all strung out.
And she worked hard. She worked hard in that film because being, a dope addict and having to go through all of those emotions is energy. You know that. You're an actress.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty fantastic.
I was going to say that.
What about like Tom Hanks in Philadelphia? See, similar kind of thing. Anytime somebody, or what's the one that Matthew McConaughey did, and he loses so much. Same kind of,
Yes, where he lost all the weight. I forgot the name, but it was an Academy Award.
Now, it brings me to an English actress who was better than Meryl Streep. She's probably right now the best actress we have. And her name is Michelle Dockery. Dockery. And you could see her in a film where
First of all, do you know who she is?
I'm not.
Watch Downton Abbey?
Yes.
She plays Lady Mary in Downton Abbey.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, she's
if you go see the film that's out currently where she's in an airplane, she's on camera from the beginning of the film to the end of the film. But you can see an actress that just changes from happy, laughing, killing, bad, tough, good. I mean, every emotion of a human being, and it's all close up, camera close up. I sat in that theater saying to Jimmy, I have never seen an actress do so well with so much that she had to do.
She's in that movie. I forgot the name of it. Flight Plan or something. Flight Risk or something.
Flight Risk.
Anyway, the whole movie. It's Mark Wahlberg. Mark Wahlberg, Topher Grace.
You got to go see it.
And the whole movie takes place in the cockpit of an airplane. Basically, it's the entire movie is directed.
And it's not boring by any means.
It's really good. But you also
putting that on the list right now.
Yeah, look it up. It's really good.
You and your husband have got to go see it.
She also did a TV series on TNT called Good Behavior, where she played
played a prostitute, drug addict, alcoholic, kleptomaniac, shoplifter, and
like everything. Nothing like you would have expected from Lady Mary.
And she kept changing wigs and kept changing makeup and becoming all these various people in this. She's just brilliant. Totally brilliant.
Okay. I had no idea. Yeah, I'll be sure to watch both of them.
Watch her work. You will love her work.
Okay. I'll definitely do that.
One act, an act, we know good stuff. We know who can act and who can't, because
So have you been to Italy a lot?
Yes, I have. That's the dream. I'm going to move there one of these days. I've been six or seven times. I've been house hunting over there for about a month, and I kind of love it.
I lived there for a year with my grandmother.
Did you? What part?
Genoa.
I haven't been to Genoa. I've been north and south and Puglia, and I haven't been to Sardinia yet. I haven't been to either of the any of the islands yet, but I've just about covered the entire boot. Otherwise.
My father sent me to Italy because he suspected I was gay. I was 17 years old. When I got to Italy, I would walk down the street and have 5 men following me. A 17-year-old pretty boy in Italy, those Italians go crazy. So I thought to myself, my father sent me here so I wouldn't be around gay people, because his mentality was there's no gay people in Italy. I think all the Italian men are gay anyway.
You might be right.
It was the best place I ever went. I had more dates in it.
I love it. So you guys too, you can follow Enya on Instagram. It's at Enya Flack, ENYAFLACK.
You're delightful, I have to tell you.
Her website is enyaflack.com.
Thank you.
You are really delightful.
Her website is enyaflack.com. So what's the next thing we can see you in?
Other than all the Queens men, you know what I'm working on a podcast of my own right now.
Oh, good.
And it's I've kind of become, my mom is actually in great shape, but especially for someone of her age, she's 98.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but she as a caregiver, family caregiver, I've learned and had to learn a whole lot of stuff, and there are not a lot of resources out there. I haven't found any podcasts, so nobody steal this idea from me. So I've found that a lot of women in my general age group, we're all kind of going through the same or similar stuff right now, and we kind of depend on each other and lean on each other a lot for ideas and just support and whatever. So that's what I'm. It's a passion project. So
hold. What kind of stuff are you going through?
Well, I mean, just everything from just stuff that society really doesn't prepare you for. Like, for example, everything from the legal aspects, becoming a what's it called, getting a power of attorney, insurance issues, medical issues, how. Social issues, just from one thing to the next. So it's nothing major in my life, thankfully. But my best friend, for example, they had to put all of their property. Her parents had to put all of her property in her name so that they didn't end up going bankrupt and whatnot. Yeah. So just a number of things.
If you need any ideas of how to promote it and where to place it and stuff like that, just send me a message, because this show's 17 years old, so we've been on the air for 17 years, and
I've never been paid.
And I'm pretty good at how to promote it. I'm pretty good on ways to help promote it, and also ways that you can monetize it and stuff. So
okay, thank you. I will definitely reach out. Thank you.
Reach out.
I said to Jimmy, "Why don't you pay me?" He said, "We're married." What do you think about that? What do you think about that?
Jimmy, I think you need to pay him.
Yeah, don't you think?
I think so. Yeah. If you're making any money on it, yeah, hey.
Thank you.
I think
we have highs and lows. Sometimes it depends.
I'll send you 10% of what he gives you.
Highs and lows. But you guys, please follow Enya. Check out all the Queen's Men on BET Plus, and check out all her other stuff. She's been in a great stuff. She's got Twisted Sister TV movie, To Her With Love, Suitcase Killer, the Melanie McGuire story. One thing I think is really cool is you're always in the top 3 or 4 characters of almost everything you're in. So you're never at the bottom as an extra. You're always a major featured character.
Can I ask you a question? What movie do you want to put her in? Which one?
I don't want to talk about it over the air.
Just give me the name.
No, I'm not going to.
In my ear.
No, it's not in your ear. Anyway, we'll be in touch, because we're getting ready to put it all together.
Right. I think I know.
You're in it, so
of course I'm in it.
So
I think I know the movie. I sleep with the producer. I should be in it.
Okay, so all is good with that. So you guys,
I sleep with the producer.
Follow Enya on Instagram, you guys. Check everything out. Please support her. We want to thank Anthony Turk for setting this whole interview up. He's a great publicist, and we want to thank you for coming on the show. And anytime you have anything big to report on, just let us know.
You come back.
I absolutely will. Thank you so much. You guys are great. Loved it.
No, you come back. Trust me. I mean that from my bottom of my heart. Like I said
Yeah,
before,
he doesn't say that very many people.
No, we have a lot of egos that come on, and they want to run the show.
time for that.
All they do
There's-
is nonstop talking. They don't let us in. We are a conversation show. Like we're sitting around in Brooklyn in my kitchen having coffee and Entenmann's crumb cake. That's what I tell our guests. And that's what made us a success, because we're not a, and what do you do, and how often, that kind of crap. We're like friends talking. I
Yeah.
forgot what I was going to say.
I can feel that.
You come back anyway. You're
I'll be
delicious. You're totally delicious.
Enya, thank you so much
Thank
and
you.
good luck with everything in
Thank
your career. We
Yes.
wish you only good things.
Yes, only
Thank
good
you.
things. And I really hope we are in a movie together. We'll have a lot of fun on this set.
Absolutely.
I
Thank
think
you.
I know the movie.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Sue.
Yay.
What a nice girl.
Yeah, she's fabulous.
What a nice
All right, you
girl.
guys. So we're gonna take a quick music. Actually, we're gonna take a movie break and do a premiere. So my movie Purgatorium is still on Tubi. We want to get more people to check it out. So here's the trailer for it. Please check it out. Purgatorium now on Tubi TV.
So what is this double?
I'm stuck in here.
Who put you up to this?
No one did, sir.
I gave it to you in writing, Bart. In black and white.
I really don't want to hurt you, man.
Then don't. Evil is with us.
A wise man once said, life is like a stream.
If you're doing and you're not doing,
It does not stop.
stay up there!
The funny thing about streams, though, once it's off course, you can never change it back.
Hey, everybody. So that's Purgatorium. Check it out. And our next guest will be coming on in a few minutes, but we're going to do a music thing too while we can. And we're going to do David Raleigh. The name of the song is You Made Me. He was on the show a couple months
Oh,
ago.
I like the other one. Roses of
I know.
Blue.
He doesn't have a video for that one. So check
I
out
love
David
that- I love
Raleigh.
that
You
song.
Made Me, you guys. And then we'll be back, and hopefully our guests will be here. Enjoy.
He's a good talent. Definitely a good talent.
So David Raleigh, You Made Me, you guys.
Davey can sing.
David Raleigh, the name of the song was You Made Me. I know a lot of you guys liked it. And now we're going to welcome.
Hang on. He is one of the nicest people I know. And can he sing? Yes. So I told him one time, you're like Johnny Mathis, for those of you who know Johnny Mathis. Imagine there are people who don't know who Johnny Mathis is. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Anyway, now we're going to bring on our guest. Let's see if we can hear her. Let's get her in the booth there.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Good heart.
Fine. How are you?
Good.
Jimmy and Ron. How
Oh my
are
God, I'm excited. Okay, everybody, now that we can hear you. Hey, everybody, now we want to welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, actress, producer, director, Susan Lanier. Hello and welcome to the show.
Hey guys. Thanks for having
This
me
is
on.
Ron. This
Hi.
is
Hi Ron. How are you?
If you're not Swedish, I'll eat my hat.
Yeah. A little bit of Danish actually.
Oh,
Yeah.
you look so Swedish, my God. Like Anita Ekberg, one of those kind of women. You know who Anita Ekberg was?
Of course. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. What a compliment.
Well, I meant it.
Thank
You're
you.
really stunning looking.
so we have people in the chat room. If you just say hi to everybody in the chat room.
Hey everybody in the chat room. This is a beautiful day in LA. And I'm so happy to be here.
Yes, and you're
Good,
just
we're
getting
happy to
off of a
have you.
play, right? Like you started in a play recently.
Yes, I was doing a play, and it's already kind of my part in it is already kind of expired, but it was called "Porn Rock: The Trial of the Obscenity Trial of Jello Biafra from the Dead Kennedys."
Oh my
So
God, I used to see them in concert all the time. I went to University of Florida, and they were always in Gainesville, and we used to go see them in shows all the time when I was young and able. I just had knee surgery a couple of days ago. I would like die at a Dead Kennedys concert now. I would get trampled.
so how are you doing with your knee surgery?
I'm doing really good, much better. It's my third time on the same knee. They messed up the first two, but I'm doing significantly better. I had therapy yesterday. I go back again tomorrow. It's a little sore today, but I'm happy. I'm happy that it's doing better, and I needed to heal because Ron's getting his done in April, and that way he's taking care of me, and then I can take care of him. But
so I'm a year ahead of you. I had one done from an old injury. I had one done a year ago, and it took a whole year for me to really be back in the game, you know? So
I'm hoping mine isn't that long, so we'll see.
It's amazing how many people I see here have knee surgery, knee replacement.
Yeah.
My parents lived to be 80, never had knee surgery. My grandmother lived to 96. None of my family has had knee surgery. No one in our neighborhood had knee surgery, and I never met anyone that had knee surgery. Now it seems everyone's got to have knee surgery.
you know, I think part of that is I think my parents the same. My parents never had to have knee surgery, but I was a dancer, and I think that our generation probably were a little bit more athletic. There was a lot of emphasis on football, and you know, I know I pushed my body. I was into when in high school I did roller derby, if you can imagine. So
I love that.
So the damage from that just alone in high school, you think, no big deal. And I never broke anything, but I danced with Joe. You might know Joe Tremaine. I danced with him for years. And Joe Tremaine, who had he started all the conventions. He's a wonderful dance teacher. Everybody studied with him in the 70s. Helen Hunt. I mean, she was my dance partner some of the time. And you know, everybody was in those dance classes, and we really pushed ourselves. And I had a couple of injuries, so I think it's only that knee that I injured. So maybe it's the only one I have to have.
That dancer was famous in the 70s. The guy,
he was a big teacher here in LA.
I couldn't possibly know him. I wasn't born yet.
Well, baby, I was. So.
Ron's going to be 85 in May.
Oh, Jesus. Here we go again with the 85.
I like to tell people, look how gorgeous you are.
I wish you wouldn't.
You look so young.
Upsets me.
And he's working all the time. So I was a competitive tennis player.
I forget my age. He reminds me, but I forget.
I was a competitive tennis player through college. So I traveled all over the country playing tennis. And then when we lived in Pennsylvania, I fell on the ice and twisted it. That made it like worse, and it just kind of got worse from there. And we had a car accident. I don't know. I had a bunch of different things that attributed to it all. But anyway, I'm happy to have you on. So I am a huge, and I know you have like a million kinds of things on your resume, but I'm a huge horror movie fan. And Ron's basically a Hollywood fan. He doesn't like the horror movies as much as, even though he's in a million of them, but he's in a million of them. But I was telling him before you came on,
I think they're stupid.
But The Hills Have Eyes for me is one of the, like, in the top 5 or 6, you know, most iconic films of horror that created the entire genre. And you're in, you know, The Hills Have Eyes, and we've had Michael Berryman on the show. We've had Dee Wallace on the show. And it has a lot of great people. And this is actually
wait, Michael was
Michael Berryman.
Oh,
you don't know him.
No.
And I used to go to all the. So I was the way this show actually started is I was a celebrity clothing designer, and I used to take clothes to all the different conventions and give them to the stars to get them to come on the show. And so they would like meet me, and they would like me, and then they would come on the show, and that's how the show started.
He offered his body, but they preferred the shirt.
Yeah, they preferred the shirt. But I mean, so, you know, nowadays, I don't know how it works because this podcast is 17 years old. But like when started, my first guests were Malcolm McDowell, Lance Henriksen. I mean, at the very beginning, nobody even knew who we were, and we had these like huge people on, and we've just built it from there. So tell us some kind of a story about The Hills Have Eyes. First of all, did you have to audition, or did you just get hired? Is it one of your first
Wait a
things?
second. Before we go any further, which one is that?
The Hills Have. Well, I can't explain it if you don't know what it is.
Just give me a quickie on it.
It's the one where
it was Wes Craven's second horror movie, and
give me a little bit about it so I could find it in my head.
Okay, the normal family, I will call it, are driving through the desert, and we stop at an old gas station, and the old codger that runs the gas station says, "Don't go further into that desert. There are people out there." And then there's a cannibal family that he was.
Okay, I remember.
Yeah.
Now I remember.
It's fabulous.
It's funny because the movie I was in, it was the same plot. They must have stolen it. Don't go down Circus Road because the clowns are going to get you.
Oh yeah, you did
and
Circus
they're going
Road.
to eat you.
It's kind of.
Isn't it funny? Years later, my movie was Don't Go Down Circus Road.
This was 1977. It came out in 1977, and it became a big cult classic. And I still get to go to the conventions and different things. But how I got the part, I didn't audition actually. Kind of. I had been John Travolta's girlfriend on Welcome Back, Kotter, and I had been doing a lot of stand-up.
Go back with that one. Go back. You went fast.
I was on Welcome Back, Kotter as John Travolta's girlfriend Bambi from the beach, and I did a lot of comedies, lots and lots and lots of comedies. And so the casting director knew my work and told Wes about me, and I had a little buzz going on in Hollywood. You know, I was, not a big star, but a little star.
On your way up.
I was on my way up, and Wes called me in for an interview. And on the interview, we did a little improv with each other, and he offered me the part at the table. So at the meeting on Sunset, at one of the 9200 Sunset, I think. Pretty good memory, but anyway, he offered me the part that afternoon, and I was ecstatic. And Martin Gage was my agent, and he said, "You're not going to do it. It'll ruin your career. You're totally established as this comedian, and it's going to really mess it up." And I said, "No, I'm going to star in this movie." It says starring Susan Lanier. And so I wanted to star in a movie. I didn't care what kind of movie, as long as it wasn't porn. So,
that's an iconic one though. So it's fabulous. So let's go back to we'll come back to that. Let's go back to because you were on a bunch of TV shows. I wrote down a bunch of the ones. First of all, I was friends with Ron Palillo. Back in the day, I had one of the agencies that books everybody on the conventions and stuff, for many years. And he was one of my clients that we booked into things. But you guys, so not only was she on Welcome Back, Kotter, which was like the biggest show ever for at the time, she was on episodes of Happy Days, Tony Orlando and Dawn. Tony Orlando's been on our show like 3 or 4 times.
Is he not a sweetheart?
Yeah, he's a sweetheart. Barnaby Jones.
I love Tony. He's fabulous.
Barnaby Jones. She was on Phyllis, and you would know Phyllis. That was Cloris Leachman's TV show because he was friends with Cloris Leachman. Yeah. Electro Woman and Dinah Girl. That's my favorite because that was just I love all that superhero and horror stuff. It's like my thing.
You. I was friends with Cloris Leachman, and the other
last week
a blonde girl comes on the show, and she's the granddaughter of Cloris.
Oh, that's sweet.
So we had such stories to tell about Cloris. I loved Cloris. She was wonderful.
Great.
So you guys, Susan played in. I love Electro Woman and Dinah Girl. She played Miss Dazzle. Do you have an action figure from that? Are they like coming back from the old days of making an action figure of you yet?
I haven't seen one. I have an action figure of Brenda from The Hills Have Eyes, but I haven't seen one of Miss Dazzle yet. But maybe it's going to come back.
Oh, I'll look for that. I collect action figures, and I have an extensive collection. Everybody who comes on the guest, so I'm going to look for you now and see if I can find one. She was also in Three's Company, you guys. I said, Welcome Back, Kotter. Alice, Policewoman, Switch, Days of Our Lives, So Little Time. So that's just some of the things that she's done. She's also done a ton of great movies, which we will talk about. But I want to go back to The Hills Have Eyes a little bit because I'm sure you're. I don't know. In the 70s, I didn't actually go to conventions and stuff. You know, like were there conventions in the 70s, or that's like a later thing that came around, like in the 80s and 90s?
You were 10 years old.
No, I wasn't. I was 13. Doesn't matter. Go.
I never heard of conventions then. I think conventions came 20 years later, maybe. I don't go to a lot of them because it's not my thing. I'm very divided in my music career. So the conventions are work. They're hard work. I love meeting fans. I love the fans. I love the people that go there. But you fly there and it's overnight, and you get there and you sell your merch. And I feel so weird about pay for people to pay me for my autograph. That just feels weird to me. And
I agree with that.
So did it change? Like, because I don't know. Like, so I didn't become a big horror fan really until I was in college. So like I wouldn't have seen The Hills Have Eyes until like the mid 80s. And so did it change things for you, like automatically? Because was it I'm sure it was a controversial film. There had nothing been made like that before.
Well, it was R-rated for one thing. Originally it was X-rated, and then they changed it to R-rated because I'm the one that gets raped twice. And so, at any rate, they changed it to an R rating, and it did become a big cult movie, but and very popular. But it didn't start off that way. I think it gained momentum over the years and just became bigger and bigger and bigger. And I love the fact that I did it. I have no regrets. And I'm a firm believer that every time you say yes to something, it opens the door to something else.
Oh, sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Definitely.
And I had a lot of credits by the time I did The Hills Have Eyes. And I was sort of not bored with it, but Hollywood is a hard town, and it wears you down. And I kind of wanted something different after I finished The Hills Have Eyes, and I was still doing some shows and TV shows, but I'm through The Hills Have Eyes. I met my husband, Delaney Bramlett.
Yay, okay.
Delaney and Bonnie and Friends, and so. We fell in love and we started writing music together. I started a band, he had a band, and it was just this wonderful love music collaboration too. Well, we were in love and we were doing music together. And I just felt like it was more exciting and maybe not as jaded. I hate to say that the music business is not as jaded as the acting business, but they're they're equally weird in that way. But I just felt that the people I was surrounding myself with were so down to earth and fabulous. And I just love music. It soothes my soul. It makes me peaceful. Acting doesn't. Acting is, it's great, it's fun, but there's not much peacefulness about it. It's a rush, great cut, okay, next, and you're on a rush the whole time. So
was that? And I find being on set very, very. I enjoy it because it takes my mind away from life.
Yeah.
When I'm on set, I'm the character. I don't know anything that's going on. The world could explode.
Yeah.
So to me, that's my rest and my peace. You have to concentrate on what you're doing and what you're trying to be.
Right.
So wait, tell us a little bit about because I wanted to mention some other movies, but tell us a little. So I'm a music publicist. That's how I support myself while I'm raising funds for the movies that I produce. And because sometimes I do bigger budget movies, so sometimes it takes a lot longer. And I work with a lot of big musicians, very well-known musicians and stuff. Tell me a little bit about the music you're doing now. What kind of music do you do now?
Well, I'm getting ready to go back into the recording studio probably in 2 weeks, but I write music all the time, every day. So I released a Christmas single last Christmas that had a little buzz going with it. And I think it's been the way to make money in music now is that it gets placed in movies. Your music gets placed on TV or in movies. And so I'm represented well by Wixen. And so they shop my stuff. And it's funny. when I was younger, I didn't love anything but acting, and and my whole dream was to die acting. You know, when I'm 100, I wanted, Harold and Maude. I mean, there's no end to it. Get old and keep acting. And one day, my friend had a fortune teller come over to my house, a psychic, and she was doing our cards, and I wanted to hear all this stuff about acting, and I was really busy acting at that point, and she went, "No, in the future it's going to be music," and I'd never done a lot of music at all, and I said, "Oh, no way." I mean, I loved music, but I didn't feel that I had a talent in that area. I was an actress. And then she said, "No, not in these cards. It's going to be, when you're older, it's going to be all mostly music." And it's so weird that she kind of nailed it or whatever. I mean, I just did 2 movies. So, I still do films, and act, and I love to act, but the music
is where your heart is.
Is where, well, I don't have to wait for somebody to give me a part,
That's true. That's true. You don't have to wait. Like he had someone. I
had the most famous psychic of all.
She was like a psychic for like Reagan's wife or something.
She was the most, and she read my whatever, and she said, "You're going to knock your head against a wall, but when you're at the end of your life, you're going to have a road with a fork, and you're going to choose the correct one, and you're going to be very famous for writing." And I thought, writing, but I'm an actor. Well, I've just written a movie, and we're trying to fund it, so maybe that's what she's talking about. Who knows? But this woman, Ethelmaya Johnson is her name. It just came to me. She is phenomenal. I think it kind of happened because I don't know.
He's got his older age in life. So he came out of retirement when we got together. We've been together 13 years.
I was married to a woman, and I had 2 children, 2 daughters. And my woman was a beautiful model who decided she didn't want to be married and be a mother or a wife. So she took a powder, and we never saw her for 35 years. And then she died. I raised both my daughters. So I wasn't going to have daughters running the gutters or the streets of Hollywood. I moved back to Long Island, to a very, very proper community, and my children were raised without drugs and crap.
And then he met me, and I brought him out of retirement and brought him on the show, and he's made a bunch of movies in the last many years, and he's got 5 of them that'll get funded this year.
Not mine. What did we care?
I know, but I'm just telling you, because it was kind of like a cool thing. Because I want to go back to her anyway.
Well, you know what? My point is, I really am disappointed in what you're talking about, Susan, because I think that you are probably a very good actress. And I think that you're denying the public performances. And I don't think I would snub being an actor if I were you. I think I'd get back in there. And
she just said she loved it.
No,
I
but
love acting. I'm saying I got pinned for 2 things the last month. Pinned, that means it's between you and somebody else.
Yes.
And both times it went to the other person. It's hard work. I mean, and it's heartbreaking. And you just have to wait till somebody goes, "Okay, yeah, we're going to give you the part," or "Yeah, you got cast." And that's, nothing is a better feeling than that. Nothing.
Yeah, but with your resume, you should have no problem finding work. I mean, you should put it out there that you're available. Maybe.
Oh, I do.
Because we're going to do it. We're going to do it now. Susan would be happy to be in a good movie, not a crappy movie, a good one. So please contact her and put her back in the business.
She actually,
she's missed by her fans.
You guys, she did a movie in 1984 called Her Life as a Man with Mark Singer, Lorraine Newman, Joan Collins, David Paymer, Robert Culp, and Robin Douglas. Great cast. I
didn't see that. How did I miss that?
I don't know. We should look for that.
It was
a movie of the week.
It was a movie of the week.
I watch everything.
We love those because they put all those movies of the week on Tubi, and we watch, that's mostly what we watch a lot of it. Tubi and TCM. She also, you guys, everybody knows Devaney Pinn. She's been on the show many times, and she did a movie. It was the directorial debut of Devaney Pinn called The Black Mass. It was all over the place. I think it was even at Cannes, with Eileen Dietz, Mike Ferguson, Kathleen Kinmont, which you met at the Kathleen Kinmont. You met when we went to the Jane Fonda premiere for that Jane Fonda movie. Jeremy London, Sarah Nicklon's been on the show. Jeremy London's been on the show. Lou Temple, everybody in the movie's been on the show, and that movie is available now, you guys, so you can check it out.
Yeah, I think I just had to do a promo for it for Scream TV. It's going to be streaming on Scream TV, so I did a promo for it this week.
You know what? You still have a good look.
Thank you. Thank you.
Do, and you could work well.
What a good personality too. You
yeah,
good bouncy personality.
I think she should really pursue her work in acting. That's my opinion.
I have reps. Believe me, Ron. I have reps, and they're trying. And when you get to between you and somebody else, you're close. If you consider that the thousands of people trying to get these roles. So one of them was a series regular, and my dream would be to do another series and be a series regular again.
And you will.
You
will.
That's what I would love.
Now,
yeah.
So
listen, when I was younger, I was very black hair, black everything, dark, very ethnic. And they wouldn't hire me because I was ethnic looking. They wanted Troy Donahue, Tab Hunter. They wanted all the blue-eyed, Americana boys. So I never got work. But when I did work, I was a mobster, always a low-life person. Now that I'm white-haired, I suddenly got lighter. When they need an old bag, a grandfather, they say, get Russell. Because Russell's 112, but he can still talk, walk, and breathe.
That's the key.
No,
it's easier getting work at 85 than it was at 21. Trust me.
That's great, and that definitely gives me hope, because I keep thinking, okay, I am losing out to older actresses, or not older actresses that look older. But if I still want to do music, I'm not about to cut my hair short and go gray and curly and little old lady looking. So I ain't doing that, even for an acting career.
No, you don't need to do that. So
I can wear wigs. Like, they can age me up, but I keep losing out to people that look the
that's
age.
going to change. I think that's going to change. So then, when you do movies, do you put it in your contract that you want to add a song to the soundtrack if they have a soundtrack?
I have had my songs in a couple of the movies that I have done, and only because it was, they find out later, like the movie Cut that I did. There is a scene with me in the nightclub with my band on stage at the M Bar in Hollywood. And so, and so some of the directors or producers, once they find out I do music, and I don't let them know that on an audition necessarily, unless they just know, will say, you got any tunes you want to pitch? And I'll pitch a couple of songs, and they usually end up in the movie. So that's cool.
But do you make money with music? Because Stevie Nicks said she will not record another song.
Which she did. So she
did?
Yeah, she
because they steal all her music and she doesn't make a nickel.
No, actually, I have a nice income on music. So more so than acting, actually. And so I've been lucky with that.
So what is the name of your band? You perform as a band or as a solo person? Tell us a little bit about it.
I just perform as Susan Lanier.
Okay.
Susan Lanier Bramlett. The thing is, at COVID, I stopped doing it to start writing a book about a year before COVID. Then COVID hit, nobody was playing. Okay. And then now that it's kind of, it's not over, but it's changed. I have been asked to come to New York and play at Pangea in the Valley.
Oh, good.
I would do that just as me. I wouldn't take a band with me. I've got players in Manhattan that will work with me. And that's what I'm really working on now, is to finish up a couple of the songs. I look over at my piano like you can see it. So I have to finish up a couple of tunes that I want to put in the show, and then I will do a show in New York.
So what are your genres then? What genres do you perform?
Well, I call it swamp because it's a blues, swampy sound, cabaret, funny, dirty, edgy. So I integrate sort of a life story or stories with the songs that inspire me to write. And like in the 80s, the economy had kind of crashed out around 89 or something like that. What things weren't great. And my mother was in East Texas. That's where I was raised in Dallas. And so she called me up and she said, you better get out of there. All I hear about the soup kitchens opening up in LA, and now they're opening up in Texas. Everybody's eating out of a soup kitchen's what I see on the news. And so I wrote, okay, I'll write a song called Soup Kitchen. So it's very funky. And I add that into the show, the homeless issue, the homeless have used it for fundraising, the song. It's kind of edgy song, but it talks about, I like to write music about things that bother me or I'm feeling, a certain emotion, a breakup or a death or a loss or good things too,
So, okay. So hold on. Let me ask you a question. So first of all, so if they want to, people, is your music on Spotify? Can people actually go and hear your music, or is it pretty much saved primarily for movies and stuff?
When I stopped all those streaming things, I released Swamp Cabaret with CD Baby that does distribute through iTunes and Spotify.
Yes.
I'm just now kind of getting back into the best ways to market music. Mostly I leave that up to the song people that are pitching the music for different projects.
Right.
And that I find is the only way to actually make money.
Right.
But
even if you get it on Spotify and all those things, there's no guarantee. I mean, you have to have so many streams, to make any money.
Yeah,
it's good.
Music business is really tough. We have a good friend, Soho Johnny, who has a label, and the money that he has put into that, and the return is hardly anything.
No.
It's sad. It's really sad because years ago you were owned by Columbia. Or Columbia Records, am I right? Columbia Records.
That was one back in the day.
RCA, you were under contract to them.
And they paid you.
They paid you for all of. You made millions of dollars.
Nothing like that now. It's nothing like that.
It's very difficult music business.
Unless you're really young and have, your Miley Cyrus or you've got a new rap group or whatever.
Right.
I'm not into any of that. I just enjoy things. I'm not luckily I'm not desperate to go make a living at this age. It's like I'm so content with just playing at Pangea or the Vitello's or someplace.
Pangea, yeah, in New York.
New York. It feeds my spirit, my soul. I'm not trying to take the world by storm and become Meryl Streep at this age. That ship, I think, has sailed, and you never know.
Okay, so wait. So I have a question for. Here's what I usually ask this question for actors, and we'll go back to it because we have a couple of minutes. But so as a singer, songwriter in a band or something, if you were gonna get put on any bill to play with any band, living or dead, what band would you want to play with? And it could be anybody. And then who are some of your influences, as a musician, in the 70s and the 80s? Who did you actually like?
Well, my favorite all time is Ray Charles. But
okay, wow.
But to be on a bill, I adore Stevie Nicks. I adore Bob Dylan.
Yes.
And Stevie is the nicest girl.
I would, a dream come true would be to open for somebody like Stevie Nicks, but there's so many great.
This is a dream come true question anyway, so it's okay. Do you listen to any modern day music? Is there anybody out right now that you think, oh my God, I really like it?
I love Adele.
Okay,
You
me too. I love it.
and I think Miley Cyrus is very talented.
We like her too.
Um, um, there's just there's so many good ones. I mean, I love Christina Aguilera. I think her chops are amazing. I don't have chops like that. I guess really my favorite female artist, of similar to my genre, but I don't compare myself to her, is Bonnie Raitt. I mean, I think Bonnie Raitt is amazing.
Bonnie Raitt,
So,
fantastic.
and she's just, she's my favorite. Well, Beth Hart is my favorite right now.
Beth
And
Hart
then
is good too.
Beth Hart is my favorite, and then Bonnie Raitt, and they're both. It depends on the day. I might put on Bonnie, and I might put on Beth Hart, because Beth Hart is amazing.
Okay, so now
As they say, I'm stuck in a groove because my favorite singers, Peggy Lee and Johnny Mathis.
He listens to a lot of Johnny
I
Mathis.
think that Peggy Lee and Johnny Mathis are two of the greatest singers of our and ever.
Definitely.
Ever.
I'm listening to a lot nowadays of the modern people, because I listen to like a lot of 70s and 80s music, but I like Benson Boone. So Benson Boone is somebody who I've been listening a lot to. But let's switch the question now to an actor. As an actress, bucket list, because you've worked with some really phenomenal people in your career. If you,
that's why I'm saying she's had such a good.
Wait, let me finish.
You have such a good career. Keep rolling.
She is
with
rolling.
it.
She's just saying the
but
roles aren't coming.
I got depressed when she said,
"Give me a job, I'll do it."
Hey, I'm
wish
going
I
to put you on my
could.
list now, because I actually have a lot of filmmakers who come to me with knowing that I know.
You've got such a head start over so many people we know. God, keep going,
I have a
girl.
list I keep of people who've been on the show. When producers come to me and say, "Who do you know that we could use?" So I'll put your name now on the list that I give everybody. But bucket list, male and female actor. If you could work with any male or female actor, living or dead, who would you have liked to work with? And then the second part is, if you could have ever been in any movie ever in the history of movies, what movie would you have loved to have a part in?
Well, okay, bucket list. I Jack Nicholson, Warren Beatty would have been my favorites. To do a movie with them, or Meryl Streep. I mean, Meryl Streep, I think, is an absolute genius. To work with her would be a life stream. And I regret that I did not get the role of Carrie in the original movie Carrie. I did screen test for that. And with Brian De Palma, and so that would have been a great career.
So did you screen test to play actually Carrie?
Yeah.
Oh my God! And that's like the most iconic movie. I mean, that's like The Hills Have Eyes. That's so awesome. I love it. So what do you think of the remakes of everything? Like, did you watch the remakes of The Hills Have Eyes? I thought the first one they did a good job with, and then the rest of them all were terrible. I didn't like all the other ones after that.
I agree with you. Delaney and I did go to the screening of the remake of the Hills Have Eyes, and it was all gimmicky now. It's all it lacked the rawness, I think, of the original.
Oh,
and the remake I thought was just too superficial. I didn't believe it much, but of course I'm biased, so there you go.
Susan, I have to pass something on to you. Lauren Bacall, you know who she is?
Of course.
Yeah, she told me this. She said, "Ron, a movie is only old after you've seen it."
That's right.
And I pass it on to everyone. There's no such thing as out-of-date movies. So Your Eyes is not out of date. After you see it, well, it's done. But until then, it's still a current movie.
That's a great line, by the way. I love that line.
Lauren told me that. I went to a $1,000 plate luncheon that my friend had, and I was covering it. And there were 12 gay guys. They all paid $1,000 to have lunch, and there was no seat for me. So I'm standing, and I said, "Did they expect me to stand while everybody's eating?" And this is like a slave. And Lauren was aware of it. She said, "Sit on my lap." So I took her up on it, and I went, but I really didn't. I held myself, and I sat on her lap. She was just lovely. Lauren Bacall was a very, very funny lady, and terrific.
I didn't meet her. I spent time with Shelley Winters and
Shelley was my dear friend.
and
I
Lee.
saw Shelley the night before she died. I went to the hospice and I said, okay, Shelley, now you're going to get better because you got to do my show. She said, Ron, I promise you, as soon as I get out of here, I'll do your show.
Yeah, I was pretty close with her, and I
You
did.
go to Silver Spoon?
Yeah, I would go. I didn't meet her through that. I met her. I knew her through Actor Studio, but I did a play here in L.A. Night of the Iguana with Richard Chamberlain at the Amundsen. I starred in it with Richard Chamberlain, Dorothy McGuire, Eleanor Porker, Raymond Massey, and Tennessee Williams was one of the producers.
That's
I got to spend a lot of time with Tennessee Williams, and that was kind of the highlight of my. I started off in New York in the theater, and I only wanted to do theater. So when I got an opportunity, I got my first job from doing a play, from ICM coming and seeing me on the road and inviting me to LA. So ICM was my first agent here. So it was nice.
How do you?
You really got it. You really got it.
I don't want to talk to her anymore.
Doesn't matter. We're out of time anyway.
I'm done with you, Susie.
Susan,
I
think that.
Wait, hang on. You sat with Tennessee Williams. Give me a fucking break, huh?
I have a book Shelley gave me that Tennessee endorsed to her, and so I treasure that. Shelley Winters, because he's dear Shelley, blah blah blah, Tennessee,
Right.
and so
I knew Eleanor Parker from.
yeah, I mean, she was one of the stars of that play.
Yeah.
So that
love
was
it.
great.
You guys, listen, you guys, follow Susan on Instagram. She's at Susan_Lanier_actor. When you have new things coming up and you want to come back to promote them, please let us know. It's been such a pleasure getting to know you. And I'm going to put you on my list and see what we can do.
And we'll see you in the movies.
Yes, we'll see you in the movies. Thank you so much, Susan. Everybody, thanks so much
Bye,
for tuning
Susan.
in. We're out of time, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Bye. Woo.
Jimmy,
This is MC Alfred.
and Ozzy.
I'm just chilling, in the studio, sitting down and designing. Why every man in the thinking, what are we gonna be wearing? Yo, I'm a Liverpool MC, you can't test me. Big up the girls inside the party. Let's get down to crazy Jimmy. Big up myself and known as Alfie, the one and only, the Turkish MC.
Always love the clothes of Jimmy.
Bitch, I'm your one I wanna be. Jimmy Stark, new celebrity.
We'll take you